Good evening. I'm sorry, we're having few little technical issues here. We are welcome to our 2020 budget meeting. This is a little bit because we have a presentation up. I can't see anyone, but I know that we do have Councillor Flaler is on, Councillor Demarche, and Councillor Palmetier, and I'm thinking Deputy Mayor Trainer is on now too. We aren't sure. But I'd welcome you too. What we will do, because we were trying to get it on Facebook Live and we can't seem to connect to it, what we'll do is put it on Zoom. Save it and put it on Zoom, and you can see the budget meeting then, or the presentation. Is that right?
The recording, it will be recorded, and the recorded video will be posted after.
And when we mail them into this CAO treasurer, we'll make sure we get that her email on me. Now, going to turn the 2020 public budget meeting over to the draft budget to our CAO treasurer, Gloria Rayburn.
All right, well, thank you for joining us for the 2020 budget for Municipality of Tweed. Those who are connected through Zoom can click on the Ask a Question at the bottom of the screen. At the end of my presentation, which will be approximately 15 minutes, I will answer questions until our regular council meeting begins at 5:30. So the quick agenda that we'll be going through this evening is we'll start with going over the proposed taxation amounts, then some proposed user fee changes, including water and sewer rates. We'll go over a summary of the budget by the departments and functions. We'll go over a summary of some of the significant capital projects that have been budgeted, and ending with reserves and reserve funds. So with taxation, the 2020 assessment overall average increase was 3.92%. In 2019, the total value assigned to the properties within the municipality of Tweed by MPAC was $668 million. In 2020, it's $694 million. So that's an increase of $26 million, which is the 3.92%. The tax rates, in order to maintain a 2.5% overall tax levy increase. The tax rate for residential tax has actually decreased. In 2019, you'll see that it was 0.674% for the municipal portion of residential tax only, and in 2020, it will be 0.6621% for the residential portion, or for the residential properties for municipal portion only. The total tax levy for 2020 has been proposed at $4,145,670.92. 2019, it was $4,012,699. That is an increase of $132,971.92, which is a 2.5% increase. We also have a graph on the screen that you can see that goes over how your amount of property taxes that you pay get allocated between the municipality of Tweed and then the additional county and education rates that are collected on the school boards and the County of Hastings behalf by us. So these are amounts over and above the tax rates that we charge. The large portion, the blue part of that circle, is our municipal rate. The green is the county, and the yellow is the education. The total impact per household is, so if in 2019 you had an assessment on your property of $200,000 in a residential rate, your tax rate would have had you paying municipality portion only $1,348 for 2019. In 2020, if that assessment saw the 3.92% average increase, it would be valued at $207,848. With the new proposed tax rate, your municipal portion of the taxes would be $1,376.18, which is an increase in the municipal portion only of $28.18. There are special taxes on the tax bills for those properties that receive some additional services that are area specific, such as the streetlights and curbside waste collection. We recover the cost for these by providing a separate rate on your tax bill on a per property basis. The fees are shown there on the screen. The Actinolite streetlight charge is $75.87 per property. Marlbank streetlights is $28.13 per property. Queensboro streetlights is $25 per property. Thomasburg streetlights is $38.47 per property. The Tweed streetlights is $48.89 per property. And the Tweed waste collection is $54.84 per property. So now we'll get into some of the proposed user fee changes. The photocopying for colored pages is being proposed at $1 per page. Commissioning of oaths is being proposed at $10 for the first 5 pages and then $1 per page thereafter. And this is in line with many of our neighboring municipalities to charge for the time and costs relating to commissioning of oaths. Fire inspection fees are proposed to increase to $125, arena prime time to $138, non-prime time to $90 per hour, the minor hockey and figure skating prime time to $98 per hour, and then the arena summer usage for receptions of $600, which would include the rental of the tables and chairs, but we also will require a damage deposit of $250, which would be returned assuming no damage has been taken. The Ball Diamond day usage has increased to $27, evening use to $33, tournaments to $60, and a corporate day use rate set at $100. You'll also notice that our Ball Diamond rates are no longer distinguishing separately between Stokoe and Marlbank usage. It is the same rate regardless of which Ball Diamond that you are using. The one other item that we've proposed the change for is the waste disposal fees will no longer be charging on brush. For the water and sewer rates, there was a proposed 1% increase in the rates. This is for a minimum 3-month charge for a rate 1 category, $93.12 for water, and sewer would be $102.69. So that is a total of $195.81 for both water and sewer for a 3-month minimum charge. The rate per cubic meter for water over the base usage is 1.291, and the rate per cubic meter over base for sewer is 1.422. So then we'll just get into a brief summary of the budget by department. So general government includes the administration, costs with council, as well as the revenues that are not department specific, such as our funding from OMPF, from the provincial government. So the total revenues have been budgeted at $2.7 million, the operating expenses at $1 million, and capital expenses at $36,000. Protection services include our fire, policing, conservation area, building department, bylaw services, and animal enforcement. The revenues have been budgeted at $104,000 with operating expenses of $1.7 million and capital expenses of $123,000. Transportation services, including the road maintenance, as well as sidewalks, streetlights, parking lots, and winter control. Revenues have been budgeted at $3.5 million, operating expenses at $2.7 million, and capital expenses at just below $3.5 million. The environmental services, this includes the water and sewer, as well as our landfill. There are budgeted revenues of $1.7 million with operating expenses of just less than $1.4 million and capital expenses of $654,000. The recreation and cultural services, this includes our parks, arenas, as well as our costs for the library that we pass off to the library board, our swimming pool, and splash pad. The revenues budgeted were $382,000, operating expenses just less than $900,000, and capital expenses of $377,000. Planning and development department includes our community development as well as any rezoning and severance costs. The revenues are just less than 190,000, budgeted operating expenses of 350,000 with capital expenses of 16,000. When you look at all of those together, that is what led to the need for the $4.1 million taxation revenues. So now I just wanted to show a brief overview and a chart as to how the revenue sources are breaking down to support the operating and capital expenses that we have. The blue portion of this pie chart is for the taxation and special charges. The green portion at the bottom are the grants, including federal, provincial, and other organizations. The yellow is our transfers from reserves and reserve funds, including our federal gas tax. The purple is the user fees, so that would be our water and sewer billings, the bag tags on at our landfill, as well as the arena rentals and other revenues of that type. The orange, the small portion at the top, are the other miscellaneous revenues, including our interest and penalty and interest we earn, as well as any donations. Our operating expenses, as you can see on this pie chart, the blue in the top is our general government, makes approximately 20% or so. The protection services is approximately 25%. The largest portion of our operating expense budget is in transportation services and the public works department. The purple is our water and sewer, as well as our landfill, and you'll see that's approximately also around the 25%. The orange is our recreation and cultural services, and the smallest expenses is our planning and development, which includes our community development costs. The capital projects, I just listed some of the larger ones that have been included in the budget. The Boundary Bridge replacement on Hawkins Bay of just less than $1.8 million has been included. The Marlbank Road hot mix asphalt reconstruction at $1,062,000. The start of the lagoon expansion for $560,000. A tractor and boom mower for the Public Works Department at $266,000. The sand storage coverall building for the Stokoe Yard at $252,000. A new dome replacement for the Marlbank Recreation Area of $94,000. $80,000 towards the Esker Road gravel pit. $59,000 towards the Tweed Library's HVAC system. $50,000 to reface the fire hall, and $50,000 towards the environmental assessment and studies to replace the Greatex Bridge. There are also a number of smaller budgeted projects that were less than $50,000, and those can be found in the budget packages that you can find on our website, or you can come to the municipal office during regular hours, and we do have some printed copies available as well. Just to give you a visual representation of how these capital needs are allocated between the various departments. The blue right at the top is the general government and administration. The green next to it is our protection services, so the fire hall and building, policing, bylaw, and animal control services. The largest portion is our transportation services with the large projects that we have for Marlbank Road, as well as the Boundary Bridge at Hawkins Bay. The purple is our environmental services, including the water and sewer, as well as any work done at the landfill. The orange is our recreation and cultural services, including our parks, arena, and libraries. And the small portion at the top is the planning and development for the community development capital purchases. Then we just wanted to quickly go over what the budgeted reserves and reserve fund change would be throughout the year. So reserves are an allocation of surpluses set aside for very specific purposes, generally future capital projects or contingencies. We began the year 2020 with $3,774,000 in reserves. With the budgeted transfers in and out, we are projecting the ending balance to be $2,574,000. The reserve funds are also an allocation of surpluses. However, they have an asset actually set aside, which generally would be cash or investments. And we started our year with $1,454,000. With our budgeted transfers in and out, we project the ending to be $1,498,000. Then there's our obligatory reserve funds. So these are those that are mandated by a governing body, which generally include our federal gas tax funds that we have collected but not yet spent, as well as any unspent collected parkland fees. We began the year with 633,000. With our budgeted transfers in and out, we're projecting the ending balance to be just less than 54,000, as a large portion of the federal gas tax will be funding the Marlbank reconstruction project. So now we will get into the questions portion. You will see that I will stop the screen share so that way I can look at the questions that have come in through Zoom. I will answer all of those. If you have further questions for those who are going to be watching a recording of this on our Facebook and web page, you can send me an email at cao-treasurer@tweed.ca. That is cao-treasurer@tweed.ca. At the moment, I see no questions. We'll wait for 5 more minutes. If there are no questions that come in through Zoom, then we will end this presentation, and the recording will be posted up on our Facebook page and our website by tomorrow. And remember that questions will need to be done through the question and answer section at the bottom. There will be a Q&A text box that you'll be able to see, and you just type in the questions that you have. The question just came in whether the taxes were changing by the overall taxation levy increased by 2.5%. Now, because the average assessment growth on properties was 3.92%, that means that we did see a 1.76% reduction in our residential tax rate down to this 0.66211%. Going off of the sample property that I did include in the presentation, if your property was assessed in 2019 at 200,000 with a 3.92% increase in your assessment, but then the 1.76% decrease in the tax rate, you would be seeing approximately a $28.18 increase to the municipal portion of your residential property only. And that's on a sample property. Every property will be different depending on how your specific assessed value has changed. The assessment increase of the 26,236,173 comes from MPAC. They are the ones who assess the values of all properties within Ontario. So that is a corporation run through the province, and they determine based off of various valuation techniques how much each property is valued. They send us in November or December every year the updated assessment roll for the next year. So in 2019, the total assessment that they provided us for billable properties was 668 million. In 2020, for those properties, it was increased to 694 million. So those are numbers that are provided to us from MPAC, and we have no control over those amounts. The total taxes that we're collecting increase is a 2.5% increase. Yes. Some will be up, some will be down. It depends on how your assessment changed. Yes. Yes. your tax portion. Yes, we have no control over the Hastings County tax rate or the education tax rate set by the province. And so those will also impact residents' properties. Seeing no other questions come in and no other questions from the council chambers, I'm going to end this recording, and it will be posted up by tomorrow on our Facebook and web page. Thank you again for watching and listening. Also, if you do have any additional questions, you will have a couple of weeks before the bylaw to pass the budget will be brought to council on June 10th. Just send me an email at cao-treasurer@tweed.ca. Thank you.